What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Anthony Joshua. Just as I'm sitting here going through the comments for a video that I just made where Evander Holyfield says that he doesn't think Anthony Joshua wants a Deontay Wilder bout, and he goes through his reasoning for why he should make the bout, a monetary reason why he should make it, also one connected to legacy for why he should do it. And he said that the way that he sees it, Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight. Now, I've been saying that Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight. I think it's obvious to anybody, it should be obvious. Whether you're an Anthony Joshua fan, whether you like Deontay Wilder, whether you're neutral, whether you are, you don't care about boxing, whether you're a snooker fan, whatever. If you go through the scenario and you see that the guy said that I'm not going to sell my soul for $50 million, I'm not going to let the guy in the ring with me if he doesn't want to hype, because I don't want to hype the fight, right? Maybe I'll freeze him out. All these type of things that have come out of Anthony Joshua's mouth should tell you that Anthony Joshua is telling you that he doesn't want the fight. Everything that Anthony Joshua has said tells you that he doesn't want the fight. You dang near have to kidnap somebody in order to keep somebody he loves to get him to even mention Deontay Wilder's name. But today, in the midst of doing this, Boxing Scene comes out with a quote from Anthony Joshua, and the quote again says, it's hard pressed for me to imagine somebody letting this out of their mouth and anybody believing that they want to fight with Deontay Wilder. This is what he says. The lead into it is, instead, Joshua is taking on WBA mandatory challenger Alexander Povetkin on September 22nd at Wembley in London. This is quoting Anthony Joshua. Let them train to be a fighter and fight Wilder. Joshua told the AP. It's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing it. Let's go through these sentences again, just to lead up into this. IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO champion Anthony Joshua is getting a lot of pressures from fans who want him to face WBC champion Deontay Wilder. In response to this, and when talking about this subject, he says, let them, the fans, train to be a fighter and fight Wilder. It's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing it. He then goes on to say, this career isn't determined by what people want. It's my career. I've always pulled for and done what is right for myself, which has ultimately led me to becoming a champion. He says, let the fans fight Deontay Wilder. You go train and fight that monster. It's a lot easier to talk about training to go fight that monster than actually going to fight that monster. Does that sound like somebody that wants to fight? Would you imagine what if Deontay Wilder said the same thing? What if Deontay Wilder said, Deontay, there's a lot of people that say you want to fight Anthony Joshua. Matter of fact, there was somebody just asked him. He was in a crowd of people going into the ESPYs, and somebody with a British accent, or I suppose it's a British accent, said, hey, man, when are you going to fight? We want to know when you're going to fight Anthony Joshua. We want to know when you're going to fight Anthony Joshua. And Deontay Wilder says, look, man, I want to fight him. When do they want to fight me? Look, we offered him $50 million. I want the fight. Now, he went on, fought somebody else, and hey, that last offer's off the table. So whenever they want to come back again and say, let's do it, hey, let's do it. Right? Now, whether you believe what he said or not is one thing, because I am fully aware that there are many people out there that just choose not to believe what Deontay Wilder says. And that's fair enough. But will you at least believe what Anthony Joshua says? He says, let them train to be a fighter and fight Joshua. It's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing it. So let's break down this sentence. Fighting Wilder's not going to be easy. How are you guys going to push me into, I'm not letting anybody push me to fight Deontay Wilder. You fight Deontay Wilder. You think it's easy? You fight him. I ain't about to fight him. He's saying this. Him. And yes, I'm paraphrasing. But how could you get that out of your mouth and still claim that you think this dude, how could you listen to that come out of his mouth and not understand that he doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder? not JD's, what's the guy? Rob McCracken, Anthony Joshua's trainer, said that Anthony Joshua's not ready. He's not ready to fight Deontay Wilder. They don't want to fight Deontay Wilder. He's passed up $50 million to fight Deontay Wilder. They sent Deontay Wilder contracts that are as chintzy as you can be. They were willing to give Joseph Parker. They gave Joseph Parker a percentage. They gave the last champion that he fought, Joseph Parker, who was the WBO champion at the time. They gave Joseph Parker a percentage deal, but they wouldn't give Deontay Wilder a percentage deal. Why? Why would they have? Why? Because they're the A side, right? Oh, I'm tired of all this A side. We were being generous to everybody else, but this guy right here, no. And there are people probably out there that think that Joseph Parker is as dangerous a fighter as Deontay Wilder is. And I've heard this too. Alexander Povetkin is as dangerous as Deontay Wilder. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If it was the same thing, he'd be fighting Deontay Wilder. If they believed that, they wouldn't say this. They wouldn't say, let them train and fight Alexander Povetkin. Talking about it is, it's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing it. No, I can't. He believes that at this point in time in his career, that Alexander Povetkin is the right person for him to fight at this point in time in his career. Why is that? Because he thinks he can win the fight. I'm sure he believes that there's a chance that he could lose it. It's heavyweight boxing. It's boxing. There's risk in every fight. There was risk for Anthony Joshua in Joseph Parker fight. There was risk in it. He could have got clocked. He could have got hit, could have got knocked out. Now, the referee tried to make sure that Joseph Parker stayed as far away from Anthony Joshua as he possibly could. As far away as he possibly could. And Anthony Joshua Anthony Joshua damn sure didn't take any risks. But hey, man, there was some danger in that fight. But it's just time to stop for you guys, man. It's just time to stop, man. It's painfully evident that this guy is not the champion. And I've said this in a live stream. I'm going to say it now. None of those belts that Anthony Joshua's holding, none of those belts are his. They're all Tyson Fury's. Every one of them. Just like with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was the heavyweight champion of the world while Muhammad Ali was on his exile. And when he came back, Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali, and then he became the heavyweight champion. Who the sanctioning body gave the belt to, it doesn't matter. If you didn't beat a guy in the ring, it's not yours. Anthony Joshua can't look Tyson Fury in the face and say that I'm the champ, these are my belts. Like, no, son, you're holding my belts. And maybe that's his confidence problem. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Rob McCracken. There's something going on in that gym. They got this cat worried. Big time. But, whatever the case is, man, you guys do you. You know what I mean? You guys who are Anthony Joshua fans, do you. Nobody's going to be able to convince you otherwise. And you're not going to be convinced, until everything, till the whole fake thing crumbles. But let them train to be a fighter and fight Wilder. It's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing. It's easy to talk about it. It's another thing doing it. I'm adding the it because it just says another thing doing. But I'm quite sure that you people will try to turn this around and say that he didn't mean what he said. Like, he didn't mean that he was going to freeze out Deontay Wilder. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean the $50 million. He would take $50 million. He wasn't serious about that. The money wasn't real. The money was fake. That was just a lie. They never really did intend to. He never asked. I'm sure if Anthony Joshua could get away with saying that he never asked for it, some of you guys would just say he never asked for it. But you're gonna skip right over this too. Somehow this is gonna be interpreted some other way than he's not ready for the fight. Let them train to be a fighter and fight Wilder. It's easy talking about it. It's another thing doing it. That to me sounds like somebody that says, I'm not gonna fight him, you fight him. Let them train. Let them train to be a fighter and fight Wilder. I don't care what they think. I'm not getting in there with him. That's what it sounds like. It don't sound like Deontay Wilder's message, which was as the camera was pointing up at him. God, that's a big old boy. When he said, yeah, whenever they're ready. We offered him $50 million to do the fight. That last offer is off the table. If it comes back around in April, it can happen. But they got to give me a deal that's fair. That's it. He's talking about cut me a fair deal. Anthony Joshua was saying he's got to get financially realistic. He has to get financially realistic and let somebody else fight him. That's what they want. Just like the trainer for Deontay Wilder said, Mark Breland, they want him to fight somebody else. They want somebody else to do the dirty work for Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua's not ready for him. So anyway, it is what it is. You guys keep living in that la la land if you like. And it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.